You are now entering Film Code.
I see, mate. You're fond of me lobster.
Molly, you in danger, girl.
Your ass looks like about 150 pounds of chewed bubble gum, Kyle. You know that? Say it, sir! I don't believe you people.
Huh. What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people?
Huh? Now answer my question. Were you rushing or were you dragging?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Film Code. Thanks so much for listening. My name is Phoenix Clouden, and joined, of course, by the two greatest co-hosts in the world, fresh out of bed. Welcome, Zach Sneef. Zach, how are you, sir?
Man, I'm good. Slightly hungover, but we're good.
When is that new?
I guess that's true as well.
And also joined by Brandon. What's going on, sir?
Man, I'm good. It is good to be back. I am so excited to actually talk about this movie because Shymalan has had a rough couple years, past few years.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to see how you guys feel if he has had his comeback or not yet.
Well, yes, it does. This shall be interesting. So obviously we're kicking off non-spoiler, which I think is
we're talking about Knock at the Cabin, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. We cleared that up just beforehand. Knock at the Cabin, M. Night Shyamalan's new film starring Dave Bautista, Johnathan Groff, Ben Aldridge, and Rupert Grint is in this, like, what a awesome, interesting role. So, and of course, M. Night Shyamalan makes a cameo appearance, which was really kind of funny. So, this is a story of a gay couple and their adopted daughter. They're in a cabin in the woods. They get approached by these four people who tell them to prevent the apocalypse, they must sacrifice one member of their family
willingly.
They cannot escape. They can't leave the house. They can't volunteer to do it. It has to be, a choice. And they can't kill themselves. Them's be the rules. And that's where we start. And I will say, like, the movie goes right into it. Like, no filler, no, like, this is how we got here. No, it's straight into it. We see the girl outside, and Dave Bautista's character, whose name I think was Leonard. Yeah,
Leonard, yeah.
Yeah, approaches her, and we're off to the races.
I'll be honest, like, for an hour and 47-minute runtime, none of it was wasted.
No.
I think every single second of this film was used properly.
You mean rushed?
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, all right.
You thought it was rushed?
100%.
Wow.
100%. I didn't feel any. I felt more emotional connection in 80 for Brady than I did this movie.
I still need to see 80 for Brady.
You know what? That's just sad. It's just sad. I shouldn't feel that way.
Listen, 80 for Brady is a masterpiece. But anyway,
80 for Brady got an A- on Cinema Score. Sorry for getting off on a tangent, but how?
Exactly, because it's dope. Anyway, I wouldn't say it was rushed. I mean, I think I kind of like the fact that we got right into it. You know what I'm saying? And like, to fill out anything between our characters, we get flashbacks, and I think those flashbacks help tell the story a little bit, show exactly where these two people are at this moment. So to me it wasn't rushed, but I thought it was well paced. Between the flashbacks and where we ultimately end up, I thought it was pretty well paced. I do have a complaint though about the plagues. I wish the plagues had been a little bit more drawn out. That's where if I say anything was rushed, I would say that's where the rushing came from.
Listen, Ben Aldridge as in a relationship as a gay couple, spoiler alert, is just a superior movie. So I just
it is a superior movie, yes. Absolutely.
I mean, I can't. I have so much to complain about with this. So
Wow.
we'll get into it. I thought it was a good movie, but I think that's absolutely where it stops.
Okay.
Gotcha. So I think Dave Bautista's performance was incredible. You know, there was a lot of talk about Dave Bautista being like the best wrestler turned actor because, you know, you have like John Cena, Dwayne Johnson, Paul White, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, Mr. T. Nothing comes close, in my opinion. Like, listen, I love John Cena as Peacemaker, but man, like Dave Bautista killed it in this role.
Okay. I thought he was fine. I mean, I thought he was fine. Me personally, of the wrestler turned actors, I'm always gonna be on team Dwayne Johnson. I think he's a far better actor, but I think Dave Bautista keeps getting better movies.
He has the better. No, Dave Bautista gives the better range because, like, when it comes to Dwayne Johnson,
that's arguable. Like, listen, I get it. Dwayne Johnson as a brand, he's got to stick to that brand. He does a lot of action movies. I get it, and it may appear to the naked eye that Dave Bautista is doing a lot more different things. He's in different movies. Yes, I do not think he's got incredible range just yet. I think it takes a lot of range to be able to stay in a pocket and find new ways to invent that pocket. That's why I think Dwayne Johnson is a stronger actor. But I think Dave Bautista did great here. You know what I'm saying? He was perfectly fine. This is his first time, I think, really leading a film. So he did a solid job. Made me believe in the character. I think he's on his way. You know what I'm saying? He's got a good role here. I'm excited to see what else he does. But yeah, I would pump the brakes on like the best performance or anything like that. Like, yeah, I think he did solid.
Yeah, I would say that anyone could have filled his role in this movie, to be honest. I don't think it was anything standout. I think you could have put any actor here and they could have done just as well. I mean, his character it's not like he did anything different than any other person could have done, I don't think. I think you could have placed anyone in this role. Like, he did good. I'm not saying he didn't do good, but I think anyone could have done that.
I disagree, but I mean, I think it's one of those agree to disagree situations here.
Because we're right.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So
no. I love the pause there too. That was great.
I got to look at what book this is off. So Knock at the Cabin is based off of the book The Cabin at the End of the World.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some actual like major significant differences.
Oh yeah.
Like I haven't read the book, but I looked at like different comparisons between the two. Like night and day comparisons, man. Like I don't want to say anything before we tear the shield of spoilers, but yeah, wow. There's a lot of plot points in the book that like are super, super dark.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It like it's hard to believe that it gets darker than what this film was, because the film got pretty dark, I would say, in several places. And yeah, crazy. Like it was, oh man. You know, part of humanity being judged. Jesus. It was that was crazy. I liked the concept. Like when it comes to M. Night Shyamalan, right? All of his movies have a great concept, right? Like I said before I went and saw it, I was one of the big fans of Old, his last movie. I really thought Old was solid. Like premise wise, definitely solid. I thought the execution actually kind of worked. The only problem with that movie was the dialogue was terrible. like genuinely terrible. Like it was really bad. So
that
like
movie was terrible. I hated Old.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like Old. I thought it was at least serviceable. I really liked the premise, really liked the execution. It was just that dialogue was maddening.
I mean, as well as Glass too.
Yeah, I haven't seen Glass.
Okay, so as somebody who loved Unbreakable and Split, I was super excited to go into Glass. I'm like, cool, they're making this a trilogy. Awesome. I can't wait to see it. It was not good. I'm not gonna spoil it for anything, but man, some of the decisions they make in that movie.
Yeah.
I walked out with such bad taste in my mouth. It was the same way with Halloween Ends. You're like, man, you give us something so promising and then you just destroy it.
Yeah.
Kind of like Knock at the Cabin.
See, but what were you expecting going in? You didn't have any
I mean, they gave away like the entire movie and every single trailer that they gave, and to lead up to like an ending I could have predicted. So
really, you thought you thought they were telling the truth the whole time?
I thought it was weird. I thought the whole plot was weird. I'm gonna say that. I kind of figured in the end that's kind of where it was going. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, I'll complain in a little bit here, but like, who seriously is like not gonna try to fix that? Like
the book.
And you know what? That's a shame for anyone who read the book. The fact that like I can't imagine reading that and then coming to see this.
Wow. Well, I mean, it's not like entirely based on the book. It's pulled from the source material. Right. So it's used as source material, and then they'll tell the story off of that.
Have you guys ever read a book and then seen a movie though?
Yes, Harry Potter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean
Hunger
sometimes it's the worst experience ever where you're like, you read a book and you're like, the book is so good, and then you go see a movie and based on it, and you're like, how could you get this wrong?
I'm thinking of
insert Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh man, how do you mess that up? But
that's why, guys, let's go to Vegas.
Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I haven't read this book, and I desperately want to read it now. Like after seeing this. But yeah, I mean, the way Brandon is talking, like it's drastically different. I'm like, oh, that's scary, because I'm like,
it's very dark.
Yeah, if the book gives you that like really dark atmosphere, like, because to me, I think this was PG-13 if I'm not mistaken. Like, I don't think this was rated R, was it?
Let me look.
If it was rated R, like they could have done a lot more.
Yeah.
No, it's rated R.
Is it really?
Yep.
That's disgusting. I'm sorry. If you're going for an R rating, I want to see the guts and the blood.
Exactly. Like this felt very PG-13. My guess is the only reason it got R is because maybe too many F words. Were there F words? I don't
remember them cussing that much.
It had to have been the gore, because like there's a lot of.
But the gore was kind of like off screen. Like it wasn't like up close or anything. Like
if you're gonna do an R rating,
what if I told you Wynn was our observer?
Okay, I guess. Okay,
because she looked away at every scene that had the kill.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm like, you wouldn't take your kid to this movie. I don't know. I guess because you're like, if it's PG-13, you might think, oh, younger audience can go see this as long as they're with a parent, and maybe you don't want a younger audience to see that. Okay, fine. Okay, but like, there's nothing in the movie I think deserving of an R rating, but I think because yeah, like what you just said, Brandon, like if Wynn is your observer, then yes, you don't want to put that on any kids. So I get it. Okay, fine.
I
But-
still think it's bullcrap.
Yeah, okay, bud. Okay,
That's a serious cop out. I mean, he went for the R rating.
Yeah, he definitely went for the R rating. He got it.
That's what I'm saying.
He could have leaned in more, definitely, I think. But yeah, that's just me.
Okay, so tearing the seal of spoilers here.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
I was not expecting Rupert Grint to have such little of a role as he did in this film, because I didn't expect them to continue to be killed off each scene.
Mm-hmm.
I did not expect that.
Yeah,
it is the dumbest plot. It is the dumbest plot. I'm sorry. It's so stupid. If you don't do exactly as we say and choose one of you to die, we're gonna kill ourselves, and it's gonna bring a plague.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I mean, yeah, but like, really?
I mean, well,
I don't know, man.
When you realize who they are, yeah, it kind of makes sense. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't read the book. I don't know how it's explained in the book. But like in the movie, they're like, you know, they keep having these visions, and these visions are what like drive them crazy. And which I think is great, like for what I'm sorry, I didn't get the character's name, but Ben Aldridge's character, where you know Andrew, yeah, where he's like, you know, it gives him a reason to think like these people aren't legitimate. You know what I'm saying? It gives him a reason to be like, to doubt their story, to doubt what they're saying. Like, cause I mean, it's crazy. Like, right. Like you want us to kill one of ours? I was like, no, get out of here. We're not doing that. And you know, he's right. He's like, yeah, dude, the world can die 1,000 times over. I'm not killing anybody in my family. Like, and I share that sentiment. But like, you know, when you're looking at the world literally crumbling and dying, and you're like, okay, there might be some legitimacy to it. This is where my complaint comes in, because I'm like, the plagues themselves, they were kind of easy to dismiss. like when you really, you know, say when you're thinking about it, it's like a virus outbreak, but it's on a time delay. I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, that's a little silly. Like, in even like the tidal wave, I'm like, yeah, but it's happening like in another country, I think. You know what I'm saying? I was like, these things are very easy to dismiss and very easy to think like they're not happening in real time. Well, which is why I was like you should have had a few more.
It's because it was all building up over the past like however many years, and that was just the blow up right there. That's how they explain it. I think they explain that pretty well. It's just like the world was always like expected to end, but just everything was coming to a fold right then and there. It just wasn't randomly happening. Oh my God, all these planes are coming out of the sky. Oh my God, this random earthquake happened. Oh my God, the plague. No, like it was just a buildup of stuff.
I mean, are any of us really watching this movie and seeing these plagues happen? I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. Like,
we're not expected to.
Yeah, like, so what's the point? If you're not,
the characters are supposed to.
If there's no emotional value there, what's the whole point of them doing it? What's the point?
It's different. It's different for us as the viewer than the characters. The characters.
No, it's not. It's not different. It's not different. We're supposed to feel, you know, something from when we're watching this movie and how it is to be in the situation. I didn't feel any emotional value at all when I'm watching these, you know, so-called apocalypses happen. Like all these plagues happen in the apocalypse.
Yeah,
like
that's where I'm at with it too. Is like, it would have been nice if, I don't know, maybe if they had different plagues, maybe if they were happening at the same time. Maybe if we saw more people respond to it, that probably would have been more of the emotional hook. But like I said, having the plagues happen the way they did at the times that they did, it made it very easy to dismiss. And then by the time we get to the crescendos, you know, the planes falling out of the sky and that type of thing, like, yeah, it builds and you're like, oh, okay, we go from distrust to maybe these people have something. But I think we could have did that a little bit earlier, a little bit sooner, and then making their choice feel a bit more conflicting as they keep going. And I think that's where the emotional hook might have landed for Zach and even for me as well. Like with especially with the flashbacks, especially with you know, the personal. If the plagues had been just a little bit more personal, I would have felt it. I would have felt it a bit more. That's really my only complaint is like I feel like the plagues themselves should have been either more or more significant.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, for me, I personally think that these different parts of the plague, just saying like part of humanity has been judged, I think that was a better way to explain it. Just not just showing, oh my God, look at all these people dying compared to just like talk about the entire world dying compared to, oh yeah, we're like they're killing 100,000 at a time pretty much. This tidal wave, the plague, all these planes falling out of the sky. And then when Leonard finally dies, he's like, everyone has been judged, all of humanity or all the people have been judged. That's when everything starts to fall apart. I don't know.
The better, like, if I wanted to read about Revelation, I would pick up my Bible. Like, if I wanted to read about Revelation, I would pick up my Bible and I would get more out of it than I would watching this movie. Like, it's unoriginal. Like, it's not original. It's not. It's an apocalypse with, if you've ever read the Bible, like, that's basically that. Those are some of the things that happen. That's what's talked about. And like, to make a movie about it, and then like, you're basically saying, oh, God is making you choose, like, you know, pick one person, like basically pick Jesus, right? Like,
well, I mean, I think the premise, like I said, I think the premise is solid. I do think the idea of, hey, we need you to prevent the apocalypse, it's kind of interesting, like, especially because it has to be so violent, like it has to be so gruesome in that sense. Like, you can't not choose, and with you not choosing, like, these four people then have to be sacrificed for every time you say no. I think, like, yeah, I get what Zach is saying. Like, it's a very basic story, but I think it's the gore and the violence of it that makes it pretty unique in the way that it's told.
The gore and the violence that like hardly exists.
It's there.
What do you expect? Like, what do you expect from a bottle
movie? You see 3 people get their freaking heads chopped off, dude.
Like, the fact that Scream and this are both rated R. Are you kidding me? The gore is what makes this.
Zach.
I don't. No. I don't want to hear.
What kind of gore are you expecting when the main cast list is literally just 7 people?
I mean, I would like some blood. I would like an original plot line, and I would like,
you got blood,
standout actors. So
you got blood and you got standout actors. Like
80 for Brady did that, and
80 for Brady did not have blood.
Like that 80 for Brady. I saw 80 for Brady right before this, and this just disappointed me.
This film had 7 characters in it. If you want more script writing dialogue of just like of more gore happening, go read the book of this, because there's a lot that happens in it compared to
There's
Well, but
there's a
I'm
different
not. We're
ending.
not talking about the book. We're talking about the movie, which I went to go see and spend my time to do, and they didn't do any of that. So, I mean, if
disagree.
we're reviewing the book, that's different. We're reviewing the movie though, and they didn't do anything different. They just didn't.
Well, I don't know. I enjoyed this movie. I really did. I saw 3 movies the other day. This was probably my favorite of the 3. Yeah. It was the tension, right? Tension is something that M. Night Shyamalan does really well. That I'll give him. Even if his stories don't always, come across, the best, he is good at delivering tension. So to me, I felt the tension was really well done. I felt like I said, there were a few elements that could have been strengthened, no doubt, but yeah, I wasn't too mad at it. I think everybody did a solid job. I really loved the ending. Like, I really love the ending. How they eventually make the sacrifice, and save the world. I am kind of with Ben though. He's like, why would I do that? Like you know what I'm saying? Like, this world does not love us. They don't appreciate us. And it's like, yeah, but at the same time, you can't let your kid grow up in a world without anybody else there. And it's like, okay, fine. Like, I get the sacrifice, but man, that would have been a hard one. And I feel Zach when he's like, it wasn't emotional enough. I get him on that. Cause like, to me, the emotion is I really love Johnathan Groff and I really love Ben Aldridge. So I was like, that was my emotional pool. I was like, I love these 2 actors. So, but the characters themselves, I don't feel we spent nearly enough time with them to get that emotional pool.
I think if you're going to make a movie like this and you want me to feel something from it, like, make it 30 45 minutes longer. Take the time, explain, like, give me some depth to the characters, and make me feel like I know them, right? But the fact that they're having to make a choice on who to pick, and I don't hardly know the character. Like, I don't really know the characters besides that they're a gay couple with an adopted.
They weren't. We're not supposed to make a pick for them.
I know we're not supposed to make a but what? Like, what is the point?
No, I mean, because the entire film, neither of them are making a decision, because Andrew is too stubborn to be like, oh my, I mean, rightfully so, but he's like, on the stubborn aspect of, oh yeah, all of this was like pre-recorded, this and that, and I don't believe you, so none of us are making a choice. And Eric is too concussed to really just figure something out until like the time is there, and the time is like, okay, we need to make a decision now.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but
why
do I care? Why, like, what is supposed to make me care about these characters?
I'm guessing in the movie they never make a choice,
because that's what I didn't get from this one.
So the book.
Hello, folks. This is Phoenix. Just interrupting here to point out that at this moment there will be spoilers given for the book of The Cabin at the End of the World. If you do not want to hear spoilers for this, go ahead and skip ahead. I think we talk about it for maybe about 5 minutes, so go ahead and do that. If you don't mind the spoilers, if you're okay with that, if you're gonna read the book anyway, even though we spoiled it for you, hey, congrats. You can go ahead and listen, but just wanted to give you that heads up. Okay, back to the episode now.
I'm guessing they just say screw it, screw the world, and let it burn.
In the book, in that gunfight between Leonard and Andrew, Wynn gets shot and killed. But since Wynn's death wasn't a willing sacrifice, they had still things continued on, and it continued on the path of how it did in
in the movie. However, Leonard kills himself or much earlier on, and they never make a decision, and the world ends.
Wow. Yeah, that is much darker.
That's my one issue. That's one of my I have like 2 or 3 issues with this film, and that's one of them. I'm like, I get Shyamalan was trying to give us a happy ending and some kind of twist, but could you imagine if we got that in the film?
How no, that would have been worse. That would have been much worse. I wouldn't be surprised if they test screened that and everybody was like, no. Yeah. Yeah, like, so if that's how he switched up the ending, I like it much better. Like, I like it much better. I would have rather not have seen that, if I'm being honest.
Give me gruesome. Give me an emotional story. Kill the daughter. I'm happy.
Man, Zach was cheering for Anakin when he was killing all those kids.
Like, if you're trying to make me cry, killing a little girl is the way to do it. Like if you want me to care about these characters, you kill someone's daughter. That's just messed up, man.
Oh
God. Imagine if we get a director's cut and it's the alternate back half of the film.
Oh no.
I would 100% pick up a copy. And just acted like this version never existed.
Jesus. I don't know, man. That's some dark stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I dug this. Yeah, but I mean, I see all of Zach's complaints. Like, although I appreciated the tight run time and us just getting straight to it, you know, an extra 20 minutes, man, it wouldn't have hurt. I don't think an extra 20 minutes would have hurt.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like, either in the beginning or some more of a flashback, something. I would have loved to have seen a flashback of the 4 horsemen, you know what I'm saying, to like see what their life was like, how they were experiencing those visions.
That could have filled their runtime right there.
Yeah, that right there would have been fantastic. Like just seeing how it distorted their life and all of that.
I wanted more explanation of like what the hell was going on with what's his name?
You mean the random bar scene we get?
Yeah, the random bar scene. I wanted more of that. Just like why was he turning up now to the cabin? Like, what was his motive? Like, how does their path cross again?
Yeah, his appearance was just to keep Andrew in doubt, right? Because this was a guy who attacked them, right? So of course he's like, oh no, like you're not real. You're like, what you're talking about isn't real. You're just, you know, here because of that issue. So I don't know. But I would have loved to have seen more of Rupert Grint. Like, yeah, absolutely. So I think for me, what we ultimately got was satisfying, but at the same time, this is one of the crucial flaws of M. Night's movies is like they're either overwritten or underwritten. And in this case, it's underwritten. And we could have gotten a little bit more that I think would have fleshed out our characters, would have made the emotional elements work a little bit stronger. Yeah, so that's the only thing. But otherwise, I thought it was a solid film. It just needed a bit more. I would love to see them take another crack at this story. Maybe they'll do a remix version in a couple of years.
Because who would you want to direct?
Why did Jordan Peele's name come like straight to my mind?
Yep,
like,
right
like
that's that. You got the nail on the head right there, Jordan
Peele. That would have been a sick one. Yeah. I would love to see maybe Zach Kreger once, you know, he's got a little bit more season under him. I would love to see him take a crack at it. But yeah, there's a number of people who could have done this just slightly better. I do think it was solid. It's definitely one of M. Night's best in recent times. But yeah, he could have written this a little bit stronger.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like you guys are saying, the 4 horsemen, right? Give me some of their backstory. Well, I don't.
That's what we.
Like,
That's what we were just saying.
I
Yeah.
know. I'm aware. Like, but like, also, I'm saying, like, why do I care about what happened in their life? Why do why do I care? They don't give me any reason anywhere to care about what's going on. We jump right into it with no connection to any of these characters. Like, and that's why I'm going to tell you this is a rush film. And I didn't want to come on here and bash it like this, but like also it's a mid movie and I got to call it for what it is. And I'm going to tell it like how it is. Like, it's nothing different. It's nothing like life changing. It's a movie that came out and that's it. And it's all right.
Did the grasshoppers live?
No, I hope they die.
That whole thing too. Like, where was that? Why was that in the movie? Like,
yeah. See, sometimes I think there's a need to preserve certain things from the book when you translate it to the movie, even if you don't really explore it that well. So I think that was one element from the book that made it into the film, but I'm not sure needed to, or just again was underwritten. Like, I'm sure there was some connection with grasshoppers that made some sense, but we didn't really get the connection.
That's the thing, right? Is like, oh, we're gonna change your entire book, and we're gonna throw in the grasshoppers that are in the book to make you feel like we care about your book. Yeah. Stop it! Stop it!
Yeah. All right. So final ratings, Brandon. What are you giving Knock at the Cabin?
I think I'm gonna have to go with a solid 4 stars. I originally gave it 4.5, but I think I'm gonna have to drop it down to a 4. Just based on conversation here, because like, yeah, there could have been a lot more added to the film. And after hearing that not alternate ending, the original ending in the book, I'm like, oh my god, we should have gotten that instead. Yeah. So I think a solid 4 stars is good for me.
All right, Zach, where are you going?
Well, when I first walked out, I didn't really think about it as much. I was like, okay, maybe like 3.5. Like, it's pretty good. But the more I thought about it, the more it just pissed me off. So I'm gonna go with 2.5 stars. I think it's an average movie, and I probably wouldn't watch it again. So I'm gonna give it 2.5 stars.
Wow. All right. I was definitely higher on it when I walked out, but yeah, I think this conversation has made me reassess it. So I'm going with a solid 3.5. It was good. I would definitely watch it again. I think it's got some really strong elements to it. It's just really underwritten. Like, to me, it's one of those ones where I was like, I wish I had gotten to it first. Like, because I feel like I would have definitely gone in and punched that up a bit. But otherwise, solid film. I think M. Night's back on the right track. I would get him some other writers so that, you know what I'm saying, he can really strengthen his stories. But other than that, I think this was solid. Great B horror thriller flick, I guess you would call it. But yeah, like, definitely could have been stronger in some areas. So 3.5 from me, 2.5 from Zach, 4 stars from Brandon. What did you guys think of Knock at the Cabin? Let us know on Twitter and Instagram at FilmCodePod. And we are going to move on now to What's Good.
What's good? What's good? What's good?
Gentlemen, what have you seen? What would you recommend? Zach?
Let's see. So this week or recently, I've been watching a lot of different stuff, actually. So I watched all the Mission Impossibles. Actually, I finally caught up.
Oh, wow.
Finally?
Yeah. I haven't watched any of them.
I've only seen the first one.
Yeah. So I watched all of those, and I also watched Interstellar pretty recently. I think we talked about that last time, actually. I would say if I'm going to recommend a movie from what I've seen recently, I think Mission Impossible Fallout was probably my favorite Mission Impossible. So, like, I would highly recommend Mission Impossible Fallout. That movie is awesome. Tom Cruise is really amazing in that movie. It's by far my favorite Mission Impossible. So
nice.
I would check that out. and to be honest, like that, not know that much and still enjoy it. To be honest.
All right, Brandon, what about you?
For me, I got to rewatch Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think that's a lock for best actor. Oh no, best supporting actor. I mean, best actress. Definitely editing. I think best picture. I forgot how much I loved this movie because it's been so long since I've been able to watch it. I'm like, maybe it's fallen off for me a little bit, but after rewatch, I'm like, nah, this movie is still a banger.
All right. For me, I recently finally got around to watching Memento, one of Christopher Nolan's early films starring Guy Pearce. 23 years in the making. Like, the movie came out in 2000. I finally got around to seeing it. So shout out to my film appreciation class for knocking this one off my watch list. I really love this movie. I think this is signature Nolan, where he's like just coming up with ways to mess with his audience, to tell very complex overwrought stories, and I think he's a master at it. Guy Pearce was awesome in it. I really dug it. I really dug the whole story, piecing it all together, getting like half of the story at some points, the other half later. I dug it. I thought it was really excellent, really well directed, really well written, really well acted. So Memento, for me, if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend checking it out. Everything Everywhere All at Once obviously is a big recommend. Maybe it will win Best Picture. And oh God, Zach, which one would you say?
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible Fallout. Come on, you gotta check that out. So that's what's good from us here at Film Code, and it is now that time.
You are now entering Film Code. Start program.
It is now that time. So, it was my code word this week. That code word being Karen. The years were 2000 to 2005. Film has a sequel where the main cast does not return, and the director for this film was also the writer. So, in film code fashion, with the man with the lowest amount of points, Mr. Zach Sneath, you want to kick us off?
Thanks for that intro. So, I'm going to give you my guess. So the code word was Karen, and it was a movie between 2000 2005. So I picked Seed of Chucky. Karen is the name of the original character in Child's Play. 2004 is when the Seed of Chucky came out. The writer is also the director, and I'm trying to look for who that was here, but I know for a fact that movie, I looked it up. The writer and director are the same. And there is a remake of Child's Play called Child's Play with none of the original cast. So my guess is Seed of Chucky.
Thanks.
Oh God. Oh, wish I found something that good. Okay. Oh geez. Okay, I found one, but I don't. It's not good. I'm pretty sure it's wrong. I'm going with Mean Girls. Mean Girls is 2000, I think 2003. It does have a sequel. The original cast none of the original cast return. I didn't get a chance to see who was the writer director, but I went, Karen, because they act like a bunch of Karens. So that's my guess is Mean Girls. Yeah, positive it's wrong, but I am very curious to find out what this is.
Give me back those 2 points on the board.
Yeah.
Your film is 2005's Waiting.
They made a sequel to Waiting?
They did.
Wow.
They made a sequel to Waiting, and the only returning person on, I guess the main cast list is Luis Guzman, and he's a cameo in the film.
Nice.
I just want to say mine lined up perfectly. So
I did not know they made a sequel to Waiting.
Your writer director.
Still Waiting.
Yeah, it's called Still Waiting. Yeah, but your writer director is Rob Kittrick. The sequel is Still Waiting. And yeah, the main cast does not return. And the reason it's Karen is there's a scene in this film where there's just this crazy Karen who's like,
"Oh yeah,
why did you bring out my food immediately after my salad? I'm not done eating my salad." And they fuck with her meal. Yeah. It is so funny. They do all this crazy stuff. They put like pubes on it and everything. So yeah, no, that's why I thought of Karen. I'm like, okay, let me put that on there.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Waiting. I literally had just come across that. I was like, they didn't make a sequel for that. Wow.
I've never seen it, so
you've never seen Waiting? Oh,
no.
Dude, it's so funny.
It's so funny. It's so good.
I have to check
especially if you worked in the food industry. Oh, it's like
I but
yeah, it's starring.
To give it a shot.
Yeah, dude, it stars Ryan Reynolds and Anna Faris. So.
And Justin Long.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Justin Long.
Yeah.
I hate Ryan Reynolds in any movie except for like Deadpool. So
Free Guy.
Worst movie ever.
How about that Free Guy,
Worst
right, Phoenix?
movie.
Free Guy's the GOAT of Ryan Reynolds movies.
Should have won Best Picture.
If you mean tacky, sure.
For legal reasons, that was a joke.
Yes. All right. So, Brandon, scooping up 2 points. Congratulations. You're back in the fight.
I'm
back in the fight.
What am I, 1 point behind you now?
Probably 2.
I'm getting there. I'm gonna win this.
Getting there.
We'll I get like just a point for effort?
No. At the end of this season, you will get a participation point. Yes.
Sweet. So you're saying there's a chance.
Participation trophy for Mr. Zach.
Here we go. So we're gonna get up out of here, guys. Brandon, let everybody know where they can find you, sir.
Yeah, definitely. You guys can find me at FANTASMIC ears over on Letterboxd. Go check out what I'm watching. Yeah, it's been a busy few weeks, but definitely watching some stuff, trying to catch up on like the Best Picture releases. I just watched Triangle of Sadness finally. Definitely an interesting film.
And deserving of a Best Picture.
I disagree. I disagree.
Yeah, I just won the Palme d'Or. No big deal.
That's a conversation for another time, but okay. But yeah, no. I think it was a solid film, but just has no reason being in the Best Picture lineup. And
it's still way better than a lot of other movies, so. Including Knock at the Cabin.
I knew
different years, buddy. That. Different years.
I knew he was gonna say that.
I'm interested. I still need to see Women Talking, so
nice.
I need to figure out a way to watch that. But that's all. That's it. That's all I have left for Best Pictures to watch. So.
All right.
Yeah, you guys where they can find you.
So, find me.
Ooh, you're glitching
I was
out.
Gonna say you guys can also find me on Letterboxd at ZSneaks. Oh crap. Is that better?
Yep, you're good. Keep going.
Is it? Okay. You guys can find me on Letterboxd at ZSneaks, and you can find me on Twitter at ZachSneath. That is ZachSneath. Phoenix, where can everyone find you at, sir?
You guys can find me on Twitter at IamHOReviews1. That's the number 1. And on Letterboxd under PA Clouden. And as always, guys, please follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at FilmCodePod. And we will see you guys next week. We are out of here. Peace.